Hello there. This is episode 3 of Midnight Mood, and I am the person at the piano. And beside the umbrella that has got my little scene today, I felt like purple and bears, though in the dark it looks a lot more like gray. But as I am wearing a lot of gray these days, I guess it matches. I've had a bit of a stressful day, so trying to get ready for a Kickstarter is a lot of work. And sometimes you have to wrestle with technology, like Facebook, and try to figure out how to make an ad, which seems like it should be pretty simple, but let me tell you, it's not simple. You have to understand this weird vocabulary they use, very specific meanings, I'm sure. But when you come at it cold, you're like, what are you talking about? So I may do more playing than singing today. So this is, these are the chords for Haunting the House, which is a song that I wrote, that ended up on Hemlock, Honey and Crows, and it's based on an Irish folktale, sort of a modern one, of a woman named Mrs. Butler. And she would, for years, tell her family all about these dreams that she had, where she would visit this house. And she could describe more and more of it every time she had a dream about it, and it became a family joke. And everybody made fun of her for it. But she loved that house, and she hoped that she would dream about it more and more. And one year they retired, and they decided to move from Ireland over to outside of London. And while they were looking for houses, they were introduced to one by an estate agent. And as soon as she saw it, she was like, I got this. I can take you on the tour. And she went into every single room. She knew every turning. The estate agent was confused. But when they came back, they bought the house, and they met with the people who had owned it before them. And they wondered why they got it so cheaply. Did something bad happen here? And they're like, actually, the house is haunted. But you have nothing to worry about because you yourself are the ghost. She had been dreamwalking through this house for years to the point where she drove the residents from it just in time for her to buy it. And she's my hero. I love the idea of dreaming yourself into your perfect home. So when I sat down to write this song, that's what I was thinking about. What does my perfect home look like? I want to dream like Mrs. Butler dreams. She walks out like a memory, strolling reality, or so it seems. She walks out like a ghost, making the most of her see-through perambulation. Haunting the house of her dreams. So I will conjure a house not too large, a staircase and bookcases, old leather suitcases, wide open windows and chairs by the fire, crows on the rooftops and salt on the stovetop, and herbs hanging down from the ceiling. I want to dream like Mrs. Butler dreams. She walks out like a memory, strolling reality, or so it seems. She walks out like a ghost, making the most of her see-through perambulation. Haunting the house of her dreams. So I imagine the garden run wild with mint and forget-me-not, monkshood and hollyhock, lavender, comfrey and gold marguerite, crows on the seed beds and wind-blowing seed heads, and bread left with cream by the hedgerow. I want to dream like Mrs. Butler dreams. She walks in like a memory, strolling reality, or so it seems. She walks out like a ghost, making the most of her see-through perambulation. Haunting the house of her dreams. Haunting the house of her dreams. So I will conjure a house of my own with something that I don't remember. So I will conjure a house on my own. Trees on the walls like, oh, that's what it is. So I will conjure a house on my own. A hedge which is haven, a life to be brave in. Trees on the walls like the wind has come. Woods have come wandering into mine, ever done. Witnessing all that I'm breathing out into the forest. I want to dream like Mrs. Butler dreams. She walks out like a memory, strolling reality, or so it seems. She walks out like a ghost, making the most of her see-through perambulation. Haunting the house of her dreams. Haunting the house of her dreams. That house has actually been designed in my mind, and it's in Ireland. And one day, if only in my dreams, it'll be mine. I'm a bit obsessed with this idea of building a straw house ever since I watched how it was made and why folks choose straw as an insulation and a building material. It's not just straw. Obviously there's like plaster and stuff around it, but it's like straw bales piled up, and I just love the idea of bugs can't get in, it's too tightly packed. And it's a great insulation, warm, sound canceling. The animals don't eat it. It's amazing. So I have this idea that I'll have my studio will be built of straw. One side's a studio, one side's a greenhouse. Much like the greenhouse in Practical Magic. chords together. What is that? F sharp minor. And some sort of D6. Some E's with sus2. That added some mostly that was like browns and greens, and then this adds some navy. Quite like E's. In general, things in E are very blue to me. Every time I write a song in any kind of E, it tends to be quite blue. I'm checking on the time here. I have no idea how much time passes when I get into a space like that, so you never know. Trying to think of E songs. The tricky thing is not writing too many songs in the same key and the same chord progression, because then you mix them up. I definitely have a couple songs where I'm like, okay, it's this one in D versus this other one in D. Which one am I playing? And my favorite E, oh man, do I remember how this goes? And I have to do this with my left hand up in the top. Excuse me, but can I be you for a while? My dog won't bite if you sit real still. I got the Antichrist in the kitchen yelling at me again. Yeah, I can hear that. Been saved again by the garbage truck. I got something to say, you know, but nothing comes. Yes, I know what you think of me, you never shut up. Yeah, I can hear that, but what if I'm a mermaid in these jeans of his with the name still on it? But I don't care, 'cause sometimes I say, sometimes I hear my voice, and it's been here, silent all these years. So you found a girl who thinks really deep thoughts. What's so amazing about really deep thoughts? Boy, you best pray that I bleed real soon. As that thought for ya, my scream got lost in a paper cup. I think there's a heaven where some screams are gone. I got $25 and a cracker. Do you think it's enough to get us there? 'Cause what if I'm a mermaid in these jeans of his with the name still on it? But I don't care, 'cause sometimes I said, sometimes I hear my voice, and it's been here, silent all these years. How does this part go? Years go by, we'll still be waiting for someone else to understand. Years go by, if I'm strapped to my beauty and me, orange clouds rain in my head. Years go by, we'll choke on my tears till finally there's nothing left. One more casualty, you know it too easy. Well, I love the way we communicate. I baby, don't look up. The sky is falling. Yeah, mama shows up in a nasty dress, and it's your turn now to stand where I stand. And everybody looking at you. Yeah, take hold of my hand. Yeah, I can hear them, but what if I'm a mermaid in these jeans of yours with the name still on it? Hey, but I don't care, 'cause sometimes I said sometimes I hear my voice, I hear my voice, I hear my voice, and it's been here, silent all these years. I've been here, silent all these years, silent all these years. Oh, it's been a while since I played that one. That, of course, is not mine. That's Tori's. Silent all these years, which is from Little Earthquakes, which is my favorite, still my favorite of her albums. I love it. I used to play a whole bunch of songs off of that album when I first, well, I think I was 20 when I made my first CD, and I thought, let's see what happens when I try playing in a bar. And I did for a month. Once a weekend for a month I played in the bar, and basically the only songs I knew that weren't mine were Sarah McLachlan and Tori Amos songs. And I was singing Hey Jupiter, I remember one time, and a girl in the bar yelled up, she was like, sing it, Tori! And I was like, yeah! But basically otherwise it was a bit of a bust, because I can't play the kinds of songs people want to hear when they go to a bar, and that was just me up there not getting paid. And my favorite story from that gig was I can't remember what I was playing, but this guy, I was literally singing and playing, so my mouth was occupied and my hands were occupied, and this guy walked up to me and was like, I can't remember what he was asking me, what song he was asking me if I knew, and I was singing, looking at him with my eyes going, dude, I'm singing. Like, how am I supposed to answer a question? And he's like, oh, you know that song by that band, you know, oh, you must know it. And then I just kind of shook my head and smiled and was like, I'm gonna keep singing this song if that's cool with you. And then he's like, you know what I'll do? I'll write it down for you. And then he looked at me straight-faced and really meant it when he said it. He was like, do you have a pen? And I was like, yeah, not on me at the moment. Definitely not in my hands, you know, while I'm singing this song and using my hands to play. And at the end of that month, at the age of 20, I decided I'm never going to do this as a job. Because how do people put up with this stuff every day? Playing like this every night. And then 20 years later, I quit teaching and became a musician. Because life is funny sometimes. Checking on the time here. Okay, so because in order to be in the dark, I have to kind of almost shut my laptop so it doesn't shine on me, and so I have to keep checking on it every now and then. Let me think. One of the fun things about your voice changing and your, you know, you get older and sometimes you can't belt the same way, or your mental health shifts and you can't find the energy. And there's songs that I used to sing where I just belt them, and I can't at the moment belt them. So I've been playing around with trying to figure out, how do I revoice a song like Cracked, for example, that requires serious belting. And so let's just see what state of repair it's in at the moment. It's from Into the Mirror. There is a part of me that's leaving, and a part of you that's gone. I don't know how I should be feeling, but I know where it went wrong. In the chaos of emotion, I can't see a single star, fighting back against the maelstrom till I don't know who we are. We are bleeding, but I'm quiet. You are wounded and you scream. Close my heart so I won't fear you, and my eyes, but it's no dream. For a moment in the darkness, thought I was blind. Let it take me till I made up my mind. I am cracked, but I'm not broken. You'll never break me down. I won't be silent any longer. I won't give it up and drown. I'm splinters wrapped together. You can throw me on the fire. I'm rising from the ashes like a phoenix of desire. There is a part of me that's grieving for the part of you that's shone. I can't explain the things I'm feeling. I just know it don't belong in the remnant of devotion, like a firefly in a jar, fading slowly into nothing. Didn't know we'd come this far. We're diverging, you are distant. I can't find the words to say. You're a memory in the mirror and a part of yesterday. I'm cracked, but I'm not broken. You'll never break me down. I won't be silent any longer. I won't give it up and drown. I have splinters wrapped together. You can throw me on the fire. I'm rising from the ashes like a phoenix of desire. I cut the cord that has tied me here to you. Don't wanna let the lost linger, no. Fought for the first time without you catching me. Somehow I land on my feet, so I cut the cord that has tied me here to you. Don't wanna let the lost linger, no. Fought for the first time without you catching me. Somehow I land on my feet. You know. Regret has made me restless. I'm moving on to the flicker of another dawn. I am cracked, but I'm not broken. You'll never break me down. I won't be silent any longer. Won't give it up and drown. I'm splinters wrapped together. You can throw me on the fire. I'm rising from the ashes, phoenix of desire. I'm cracked, but I'm not broken. And I cut the cord that has tied me here to you. Don't wanna let the lost linger, no. Fought for the first time without you catching me. Somehow I land on my feet, so cut the cord that has tied me here to you. Don't wanna let the lost linger, no. Fought for the first time without you catching me. Somehow I land on my feet. So go. I feel like I could slow that down to halftime and I would still have too many words. I love that song. I originally wrote that. Someone asked me about it recently, about what it's about. And I actually wrote it for thinking about a friend who's going through a divorce, a really, really messy divorce. And then when I went through mine, which was really, really amicable, I swear I have had the only truly amicable split in the history of time. This song sort of morphed from being a divorce song to being a, like, starting a new chapter song. But the rage is not there. Like, I used to use this song as an outlet to just belt. Because I had a lot to belt about. And I might find that I want to belt again at some point, but these days, there's a whole lot more healing, I suppose, going on. I think more songs need sixth chords in them. I love sixth chords. They don't always sound great, but a lot of the time I really like them. I'm just looking at all your comments now. Yeah, see, I don't capo. I know guitarists, my lovely friends, you have that ability, but I do not. And because I think I mentioned this last week, like, because I'm synesthetic, it really throws me off. If I press the transposition key, it would freak me out a bit. I would feel like there was something wrong with the world. So I know this was more piano than singing, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back next week, when Sunday meets Monday, playing some more. On the other side of the launch of my Kickstarter. The Chaos Week is coming. So it'll be very nice to be in the dark, quietly playing. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you again, or you'll hear me again next week.